Hello, everybody. Welcome to Turn 1. I'm Sean Fitz. Thanks so much for being here. Charlotte on the books here for the Sim 500 Cooks Landscape Group Cup Series right here on Turn 1. Jose Gonzalez is going to start on the pole tonight. Glenn Campbell outside row 1. And then it's Anthony Calatoni in the 84 Tonka Giant Chevrolet P2, or I'm sorry, second row starting P3. And then Brian Macklin out on the outside of row 2. It's going to be a lot of action all over this speedway here at Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight. 130 laps for the Sim 500 group as this long Cup Series continues its grind down off into the early fall months. We're going to award a new winner here in just a lap or two. Pace car going to take him around one more time. Again, welcome everybody to Turn 1. So glad you're with us last night. We saw a pretty wild race at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Sunday Night Surge Series. And this coming Sunday, we're going to continue that super speedway racing. We're going to head on over to Daytona in the Sunday Night Surge Series. That is going to be 9 Eastern, 8 Central, right here on Turn 1. You're not going to want to miss that. That season's coming down to a close. It'll be race number 10 on Sunday. It'll be a good time, and we'd love to see you there right here next Sunday evening. Need my producer to change the scene to the race there instead of our logo. Hopefully she can hear us and I'll get that switched over. But yeah, we're getting ready to go green flag racing here. A little bit of a different setup, and unfortunately I do not have Kevin England alongside tonight. So it's just me in the booth trying to make some magic happen. Doing it a little Fox style, calling it remote. It's going to be a good time though as we get ready to go racing here tonight at Charlotte. Tyler Dalton looked really quick throughout the entire practice session here tonight. Can he back that up into a strong finish? We're going to find out. He's going to start quite a ways back. Pace car is going to duck down pit road. Gonzalez is going to get him ready to roll all the way down this start-finish line and into the start zone. The green flag is out. We're racing for the Sim 500 Cup Series here on Turn 1. Free and clear all the way through. Clean start for this group as they roll off into Turn 1. Side by side, Gonzalez takes the lead. Free and clear. Now Calatoni and Campbell are going to battle out just in the rear view. Then it's tripled or doubled up back there. That's Rivera, Glacier, Comstock, Jatina, and DeBrown all throughout the top 10 as they work through turn number 4 and complete lap 1. Gonzalez out front by about a four or five car length lead over the field as we look back a little bit further. That's Bentley, Glazer, Comstock, Jatina. They're still trying to sort it out back there, trying to get a better camera view of that. They are back there just getting it smoothed out just a little bit. Now Calatoni, he's under pressure. I believe that is Macklin there applying a little bit of pressure. That's Calatoni now settling into that fourth place spot. Brian Macklin's going to move up to third. So far, Jose Gonzalez free and clear out front. He's about 4 car lengths over Glenn Campbell as they roll down the backstretch, down the top 10. Mostly single filed out here as we work lap number 3 at Charlotte. This racetrack here at Charlotte, it's going to be a little bit of a dynamic run. Many different ways to get around this place. It's all about driver preference and what works best for everybody involved in the handling of the car. As you see now, Campbell starting to move up the racetrack. So is Macklin following right in those tire tracks, and Anthony Calatoni also moving up. And as they all go off into 3, we'll pay close attention here. Yep, Calatoni enters a little bit higher, drives down the corner. Macklin is a whole lane up. Meanwhile, Gonzalez is riding the bottom. Right there, the shortest way around, tracing that white line all the way through 3 and 4 to make it work here tonight at Charlotte. And these drivers have a couple sets of tires in the pits, but they need to conserve them. This racetrack will burn some rubber after it's all said and done, so you've got to keep that in mind. You've also got to keep in mind that we could see some longer green flag runs here as Glenn Campbell now starts to catch up and gains a little bit of time on Gonzalez as they work through 3 and 4. Gonzalez comes back to the stripe to complete lap number, or to take lap number 6. Campbell following right in the tire tracks, but ultimately moving again right up to that high line there as they work out of turn 2. Up front is settled in, but let's go back and look through a little bit of the field. That looks like that is Comstock and O'Rourke. They've been battling back here. It is a little chaotic back here. Then it's Bentley Glacier back behind this group. All trying to sort some stuff out. It is getting a little sporty. Side by side they go a little bit further back here behind Bentley Glacier and Comstock. That's David Schildhouse in the 20 car. David Schildhouse, the Children over on twitch.tv/Schildhouse. Looking for another opportunity to bring home a checkered flag this season. Keep in mind, he has been turning the heat up after what has been a notable slump through the summer months. But right now, David Schildhouse working his way up into the top 10 in that 20 car for the first time this evening. Just in front of him there, that looks like that's O'Rourke and Comstock. They're side by side as they roll out of 2. O'Rourke in the 41 is going to take that high line there. And then the same with Rivera and Glacier. Now things are starting to move and shift just a little bit. Glacier's going to squeeze by or maintain that position there. Not going to fall to the to the devices of Rivera there. And then meanwhile, Tyler Dalton, he's worked himself up to that 5th place spot. We were just talking about that driver. He started, he was during practice in that fantastic Sim 500 blue paint scheme on that car. I've actually talked to Tyler about those skills quite a few times. That car looks really sharp here tonight. I believe that is made off of an old Mopar scheme, and it looks incredible. He has worked himself up to top 5. Hopefully he's feeling good. He's feeling just as good as that car is looking good, and he's up into that 5th place spot. Up front, Jose Gonzalez continues to motor free and clear. 4/10 of a second lead over Glenn Campbell. Glenn's actually made up a little bit of time there in the last couple laps, but both of these drivers are starting to pull away now. 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 seconds on back to Brian Macklin, who now is starting to feel a little bit of pressure of Calatoni. That 84 Talking Giants Chevrolet, another solid qualifying effort for Anthony Calatoni. He's going to start right there in those front 2 rows. Cannot quite get away from Brian Macklin just yet, but that's okay. He is on, he's got that car just about trimmed out and settled into that 4th place spot. You're not missing anything up front. Let's continue looking back through the field just a little bit. We'll look around 11th, 12th place, see what's happening. It looks a lot of these cars have started to shake out. That's David Schildhouse and others here trying to find their way through. I think I just spotted Justin Fuller making his way through the field. I sure did. Fuller riding that higher line, that 51 Cooks Landscape Group Cup Series car. Certainly trying to make something happen here tonight. That driver, he's had some flashes of speed, but I will say maybe a little bit of concern for the 51. The points lead and the battle for the regular season points is certainly going to be a factor here as we cruise down into the very late summer, almost fall. Well, we're going to call it fall. It's after October. It's spooky season, so it is certainly fall. And Justin Fuller seems to be just riding in cruise control right now. Again, well noted, he is not a fan of this car, but he has found many ways to put some speed down, and I'm sure this will not be the first time, or the last time, rather, we're talking about him. Go back up front. We've had a big incident up front. Jose Gonzalez and Glenn Campbell has pulled away there. 0.8 of a second, now almost 0.7. Campbell's looks like he has maybe had a little bit of an incident. I believe that was coming out of turn 4 last time by. I saw the interval on that timing tower change drastically for Glenn Campbell as he is now sitting right around that 0.6 of a second gap there. My producer's saying something right here, but I did not hear it. But we continue to run here. Looking back, Rivera, O'Rourke, Schildhouse, Comstock. Now Schildhouse up to 9th. Everybody mining their P's and Q's. So far, a green flag run, 15, working lap 16 rather, of 130 here tonight at Charlotte. These are going to click by very quick here with these lap times. Everybody's just mining their P's and Q's. While we've got an opportunity, let's ride on board the back bumper. Let's ride on board the back bumper here of Tyler Dalton. He is settled in. And, well, actually, no, let's take a look. There's a fight happening right behind Dalton. That is Rivera and Bentley Glaser side by side as they come across the stripe. The track's going to take a little bit of shadow here on the front stretch. And the building's laying shadow off in turn 1 and 2. That can certainly cause a little bit of grip change for some of these drivers. So that is a factor to think about as these cars continue to adjust. Tires are starting to wear now as we go back up front. Jose Gonzalez leads. And now actually Glenn Campbell's getting some pressure. I believe that was Brian Macklin. It is. Macklin now looking to the inside for the first time tonight. Campbell looks like he may be starting to transition a little bit. He's on the high line. Oh, Macklin's got to take evasive maneuvers to avoid Campbell. There got a little loose on corner exit, was able to gather it back up, and Macklin able to continue. Now Calatoni's going to get right in the middle of this fight. And they're going to be side by side as they come across the stripe again. Campbell and Brian Macklin side by side here. Calatoni is just waiting to strike though. Oh, Macklin's going to try to shut the door on Campbell. That was tight coming off of turn 2. I think Campbell had to check up quite a bit. Then the car got tight. Now here comes the rest of the group. That is Anthony Calatoni in the 84 looking underneath Campbell. That is going to move him into the top 4 position. Oh, and by the way, Tyler Dalton's on the move right in line here. And that's Nelson Rivera and Bentley Glaser all battling it out. We're waiting for this battle to come to a head as now Macklin's moved back to the high line. He's got that spot starting to motor away. He now needs to get into pursuit of the leader as Anthony Calatoni completes that pass on Glenn Campbell. Now Tyler Dalton is going to have his opportunity to get by here. He's going to look down to the inside, drives down the middle of the corner, off the corner here. It gets really tight right there off of turn 4. And everybody has to, mind your P's and Q's there. You're only going to go through there 2 wide, but you've got to have confidence in the car to land and feel confident and comfortable in how it's handling, as Dalton now is going to out-grip Glenn Campbell as he works by. Tyler Dalton moves into that top 4 position. Out front, Jose Gonzalez continues to lead. 1.8 seconds out on back Brian Macklin. And I'll tell you what, he is on cruise control. Macklin sitting P2. And then it's Calatoni, Dalton, Rivera. Glenn Campbell slid all the way back to 6th place. As our top 10's mostly single filed out here, we want to scroll back through the field just a little bit. The 51 of Justin Fuller. He's looking pretty sharp. He's moved himself up into the top 10 as David Schildhouse just out front. The windshield there on the Fuller machine. Taking a look a little bit ahead, that's David Schildhouse. He is battling E.J. O'Rourke in the 41. And they are really hustling, and things are starting to pick up. Glenn Campbell's going to get in that mix up here in front of, Justin Fuller. As O'Rourke gets super loose, has to take a dive off the corner there. Schildhouse is now going to have an opportunity to look under Glenn Campbell here. Schildhouse is going to out-grip continue. Campbell, this looks like signs that he may have burnt up those Goodyears on that 44 car a little early here as they come across the stripe to take lap 24. Schildhouse now free and clear, looking ahead as he's settled into P7. Looking through the rest of the field, Nelson Rivera just squeaks by Brian Macklin. That is for 4th place spot. Macklin now under a little bit of pressure. Just ahead here, and Rivera is able to get by. So was Tyler Dalton. Anthony Calatoni has moved into that 2nd place position. That 84 Chevrolet of Calatoni, again, he has been showing some tremendous flashes of speed here over the last couple weeks. Not a bad way to end off what it was a decent summer slump, and now he's starting to run down Jose Gonzalez. That gap was 1.6 seconds. I saw it narrow down to 1.3 there before rolling out of turn 3 as they battle back behind him. That is Nelson Rivera and Tyler Dalton side by side back behind there, and actually it looks like Tyler Dalton, Bentley Glacier, and a couple others battling it out here. Just behind just behind here, Anthony Calatoni. Shieldhouse on the high line, trying to make that work. Brian Macklin now, another driver who's moving backwards in a hurry. Shieldhouse is going to squeeze by. That's going to put him into that 5th place spot. And everybody has settled back in. Some comer and goers starting to come to fruition here tonight at Charlotte for this Cooks Landscape Group Cup Series right here on Turn 1. Again, hello everybody, I'm Sean Fitz. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're watching Jose Gonzalez continue to lead here tonight at Charlotte. Started on the pole, a dominating night for the driver of the 26. Jose Gonzalez has been really quick in a couple different disciplines, but really turned up the wick here tonight for the Cup Series at Charlotte. Anthony Calatoni still sitting about 1.3 seconds on back. He's had a good run so far, worked his way up after initial battles. But then Nelson Rivera, and looks like David Shieldhouse is going to squeeze by Tyler Dalton a little further back from this group. Shieldhouse, he is on the tear here tonight. He has moved up to that 4th place spot. And working now on the back bumper of Nelson Rivera as they roll off of turn number 2. Back behind this group, that is Bentley Glacier. That's that 36 car. He has been looking pretty good so far here tonight as well, rolling right around that 7th place position, but he's had to deal with some traffic, including trying to get by here Brian Macklin as they work off of turn 4. EJ O'Rourke also having a decent night tonight. He is sitting in that 8th place spot. Jason Carlavage in the 60 machine. He's up to 9th. That's the first time we have seen and talked about that driver. Jason Carlavage sitting P9. And then Thomas George is sitting 10th at the moment. Another decent night for that 6 car, just riding around in the top 10. Justin Fuller, we were talking about him here just a little while ago. He was in the top 10. Well, he cycled back out to 11th, but no pressure. Looks like they're side by side. Is that Josh Parker? It is. Josh Parker there working his way through the top 15. Another night here for Parker to really show some flashes of speed, but consistency has been his killer, and the lack of has really slowed up that 81 Kroger machine. Tonight, though, he has another opportunity to redeem himself. We'll say pay close attention to that, as Kevin DeBrown is also flirting back there in that top 15 group as well. Looking back up front, David Shieldhouse has moved comfortably into that 3rd place position. And now, all of a sudden, Anthony Calatoni may be in a little bit of trouble. Here comes David Shieldhouse. He is going to enter turn 1 about 2 lanes higher, and then going to exit. That's going to give him some exit speed that Calatoni does not have as they work through 3 and 4. And this just shows you the forward momentum that 20 car of Shieldhouse could build. He can be really fast on a single lap, but what he specializes in is a momentum building, saving the tires, be a little faster every lap, saving the tires, be a little faster every lap. And just consistently managing that fall off, and that's how you see him, plus his ability to really drive through the field, be smart with it, and move forward. Well, he's proven he can do that here tonight and started outside the top 10, and now all of a sudden David Shieldhouse is up here threatening Anthony Calatoni for that P2 spot. Looking a little further back, that's Bentley Glacier. He's under a little bit of pressure. That's Brian Macklin maybe starting to come back a little bit. Macklin's going to work the outside line as they roll off of turn 4 and take that spot away. Macklin, I thought, was initially falling off there, but able to come back and pull it together. And now he's settled back in here into the top 10 as we go back up front. David Shieldhouse now continuing to run down Anthony Calatoni, just a lap by lap, almost wearing him down here. Now Shieldhouse is going to come up nearly to the wall, half a lane off the wall. carve the corner, drive down the corner, and get as much of that straight line speed as he can. Meanwhile, up front, Jose Gonzalez, nobody threatening that driver right now. 1.7 seconds on back as he works to complete lap 35 to take lap 36. What a wild and successful night so far that Jose Gonzalez is having. Started on the pole, has led them all so far here as we are less than 95 laps to go here tonight at Charlotte. While we've got an opportunity, let's go right on board with a driver or two. Let's look at Nelson Rivera, then that 22 car. Let's ride off the front bumper here for a lap or two around Charlotte Motor Speedway on board the 22. Calatoni continuing to feel a little bit of pressure under caution here at Charlotte for the first time here tonight. And let's take a look. Brian Macklin, just makes contact. He was not clear. Did not catch who that was with. And Macklin loses it on the backstretch in that 30 car. And that's going to bring out the caution for the first time here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Cooks Landscape Group Cup Series. Behind the pace car for the first time. I imagine this will bring everybody down. That's going to be Jose Gonzalez, Calatoni, Schildhouse, and Rivera. Your top four. We're going to step aside. You're watching Turn 1. Coming back to you live here, wrapping up caution number 1. We saw everybody come down pit road, and it's going to be Jose Gonzalez, Anthony Calatoni on the back on the front row. Then David Schildhouse, Nelson Rivera, Tyler Dalton, your top 5. Pace car is going to hit pit road, and they're going to see the green flag. Our first restart of the night coming right here on lap number 44. Green flag back out for the Cooks Landscape Group Cup Series. Rolling off into turn 1, and Anthony Calatoni is feeling some pressure. David Schildhouse is going to overdrive or outdrive Calatoni down the inside of turn 1 as they work single file here. Jose Gonzalez out front now. Macklin's going to try to gather it up and hang on. I'm sorry, not Macklin. Calatoni's going to try to gather it up and hang on to the back bumper of David Schildhouse. Calatoni doesn't want to lose too much. This is where a lot of drivers would lose pace with that 20 car. And Calatoni wants to stay there, wants to keep the tires underneath it as he looks and right underneath the left rear quarter panel of Schildhouse. Here comes Calatoni, side by side, working down into turn number 3. Schildhouse is going to shut the door on him. Meanwhile, Gonzalez out front, free and clear. He's not looking anywhere out back. He doesn't need to, at least at the moment, while Schildhouse manages to secure that second place spot. Back a little further, that's Tyler Dalton. He is battling out alongside, I believe that's, oh goodness, who was that? That's Josh Parker hanging out right there. He has moved up to the top 10 after these pit stops. Maybe a little bit of flashes of speed. Our Stephen Miles in the 24 sitting right there in front as well. That's the first time we've called his name all night. He has moved up to that 6th place spot, and it's getting tight back here with Parker. That is Cody Harris and Mark Jorgensen. Those drivers all into the top 10 here for the first time tonight. And it is crowded. Not quite the 405 back there. Oh, as a car makes contact with the wall, I believe that may have been Stephen Miles just a little bit. Either way, they keep them rolling here. But it is getting a little crowded. As we see, who was that wall riding up there? That was Jason Carlavage trying to make some headway there on that outside wall. I believe that was Carlavage anyhow. Hanging out there. Meanwhile, David Schildhouse, he is still feeling that pressure. Calatoni right there with him as they come screaming down the backstretch here in Charlotte. Now they're side by side. Calatoni moved to the high line, and he's going to find some momentum. He's going to leverage that momentum to continue running that high line, try to work around this 20 car on speed. And then here comes Carlavage up in the middle, up to right behind him, following the tracks of the 84. Meanwhile, Stephen Miles settled in right behind David Schildhouse here. But all out front, free and clear. Jose Gonzalez by himself and has been there for a while now. Has led on the laps so far here tonight. I tell you what, huge run out of Jose Gonzalez here. But Calatoni, he's able to secure that spot. We saw him as he come out of turn 4. Something happened to Schildhouse, and all of a sudden, Calatoni's now out free and clear. Schildhouse has fallen back to 3rd. Jason Carlavage is feeling the pressure from Stephen Miles. It's a 3-wide battle back here in turn 1 and 2. Josh Parker on the high line of Cody Harris. They get that sorted out coming down the backstretch, but that could have been disastrous. Tyler Dalton now looking underneath of Josh Parker. He's in the mix. This is Nelson Rivera's right there. Mark Jorgensen's. Justin Fuller is just waiting for everything to come to fruition just in front of him here. As man, the excitement and the energy has picked up a little bit here tonight at Charlotte so far as we look through the running order again. Gonzalez out front, 0.7 of a second over Calatoni as they come out barreling down the backstretch. Calatoni is done it. This is about the best move we could see Calatoni make here, but Jason Carlavage now is hustling David Schildhouse back here. We saw him off in the back of the camera there. They were battling it out coming off into 3. Now Carlavage, he's not letting it go. He's got David Schildhouse and, more importantly, that 3rd place run in his teeth right now, and Schildhouse up on the high line. This is classic Schildhouse. He fired off strong, but he's letting everybody's getting pretty feisty about these positions, trying to get what they can get on this restart. But David Schildhouse is calm, cool, and collected in that 20 as he's about to face the Cody Harris 95 car. I don't suspect we'll see Shieldhouse, if we say green from the 2025 laps, what that'll look like from a tire fall off perspective for that driver will be really interesting. And what he's doing right now to manage his car and manage it long run, as Harris is going to look underneath him now for that spot as they roll off into 3. Shieldhouse again all the way up on the out near the wall there. And Harris maintaining the bottom, the shorter way around the racetrack here, and he's going to get that spot again. I don't think this is Shieldhouse really pushing that 20 car very hard. Now here comes Stephen Miles underneath. He's going to follow in the tire tracks of the 95 of Cody Harris. They are going to squeeze by him there. As Shieldhouse continuing to fall through the running order here. Not again, I don't suspect this is entirely anything to worry about for the 20 camp. Those children, nothing to worry about. This is most likely just David managing those tires and doing what he can to keep the car underneath him for the long run. Back up front, we go look at Anthony Calatoni. He is just minding his P's and Q's out here. Just on cruise control, not really gaining a ton of time on Jose Gonzalez. A 10th here, a 10th there, but ends up losing it all the same. So Calatoni, again, just cruising around here at Charlotte. And more importantly, though, this is a great run for the 60 of Carl Lavage. He has moved up to that 3rd place spot after having to fight David Shieldhouse. We'll have to pay close attention to the 60 car. How much right side tire did he burn up doing that, as these cars are going to start to transition here once again. Keep in mind, we've only had one caution here tonight. Everybody came down pit road, took a set of tires, and got a chance to reset. But how long can Jason keep those tires underneath him down the stretch here will be the big question. We go back here just a little bit, and I just saw the 51 on the scoring tower move up. That's Justin Fuller. Now he's going to get around David Shieldhouse. I initially thought David Shieldhouse was just on cruise control here, but to see the 51 drive by and Shieldhouse not battle for that spot, that tells me something. And Shieldhouse also looks like he is entering the corner really odd, almost like that car may have a little bit of damage. It looks almost too tight on corner entry. We'll have to pay close attention to that, as he's going to fall out of the top 10 here with Tyler Dalton working to get by him, and a couple others just behind him. That's Bentley Glacier. And a car getting loose down there, able to save it. Who is that? That's the 6 of Thomas George. He's going to merge back into traffic right in front of the 40, or who was that? Yeah, that was EJ O'Rourke there. Had to take some invasive maneuvers to avoid that trouble. As we look back forward here, Mark Jorgensen, that 88 car. He's having a decent night here. He has worked himself up to the top 7 in that 88 car. And Justin Fuller now fully on the march here, sitting in P8. Let's ride on board with our pole sitter for a lap here as he follows in the tire tracks of Justin Fuller, currently sitting P9 here at Charlotte. Gonzalez continuing to lead here as he works past lap 64 of 130 tonight here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And I misspoke right before we rode on board there with Anthony Calatoni. Jose Gonzalez on the pole. Running on board with Tyler Dalton, rather. Dalton was the fastest in practice by about a tenth and a half. Hey, that's not turned into a ton of race pace. Obviously, a solid top 10 so far here tonight for Tyler Dalton, but Justin Fuller now starting to ride himself forward a little bit. That's Mark Jorgensen. They're battling side by side as they work out a turn right there out of turn 4. Again, it gets a little skinny right there. Something you got to manage and pay close attention to as Fuller is going to work by him. And now Justin Fuller, again, having a decent night. He's up 21 spots so far here tonight, and he has worked himself up to that P7 position. Another driver that's worked up pretty well here, that's the 24, Stephen Miles. He is currently sitting P5. He's up 22 spots on the night, having a pretty decent run here, following right in the tire tracks of Cody Harris. Cody Harris is also having a really decent run here. Meanwhile, let's go back a little bit. David Schildhouse and Wesley Donaldson, they're battling hard back here for 13th and 14th. They've been slicing it up. I'm looking at the live timing, and they've been back and forth 2 or 3 times this last lap. This is, again, not the run I think David Schildhouse was expecting to have. And while I was hopeful that the 20 car was just looking for an opportunity to save a little bit of tire, I'm now starting to get concerned. Maybe we saw David, or maybe we missed David getting into the tire or getting into the wall a little bit. Some damage on board that 20 car. That may be a factor here. And causing that car not to handle very well. That's Wesley Donaldson right off the nose of Schildhouse. Donaldson's also having a decent night, up 8 spots, running 13th. Not a bad night for that WBD diecast car. Back up front we go. Anthony Calatoni is now feeling some pressure. That is Jose Gonzalez. I'm sorry, that's not Jose Gonzalez. That is Jason Karlovash. Karlovash, keep in mind, he has been on the move since this restart. He's up 15 spots on his starting spot here tonight, and that 60 car has shown some really decent speed. And overall, Karlovash has been really quick over the last several months, really starting to put his name out there as a driver that can be consistently in the top 5, top 10. So not a bad run for Jason Karlovash here as he settles in right behind Anthony Calatoni. Calatoni is going to continue to try to battle or hold that spot off, but at how long do you continue to fight there before you realize that he may have a little bit more pace than you did? Last time by, Calatoni ran a 30.62, while Karlovash ran a 30.64, so not a whole lot of speed difference out of those two drivers. But where the speed is out front. That's Jose Gonzalez, a 30.576 for that driver last time by a 5.92 there. He has shown he has got a lot of pace right now in that 26 car. A dominating performance so far here tonight as we've across the halfway point here for the Cooks Landscape Group Cup Series live on Turn 1. Again, thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm Sean Fitz, calling this race a little different here tonight, not alongside Kevin England. Kevin, if you're out there, buddy, we certainly miss you. Thank you so much for always being with us. This is a little bit of extenuating circumstances. I've unfortunately not live in the booth per se, but we've got a whole producing team trying to help cover this while I commentate, so we appreciate their help as well. Right there, we've seen a little bit of a battle. That's Karlovash, Calatoni now. That fight coming side by side as Calatoni on the high line, Karlovash on the low line. Cody Harris is starting to feel a little bit of pressure from Glenn Campbell as well. I'm sorry, that is, no, that's not Glenn Campbell. That is Stephen Miles. Those darker hoods get you confused, but Calatoni here and Karlovash, this is going to be the fight to watch as they're side by side. This is going to continue to slow them up a little bit and allow Gonzalez to continue to walk away as they work down the backstretch here. On lap number 72 of 130, these laps are starting to tick away as they're going to only have, about 57 to go here once they come across the stripe. Not a whole lot of opportunity left, but we should see at least one more pit stop come out of this group. Calatoni's going to go to the high line. Karlovash is going to follow right in his tire tracks, but here comes shocker, the 95 of Cody Harris, as Harris is looking to really reel in these guys. Again, we've talked about tire savings and who may have overdrove it there. Remember that restart came about 35 laps ago. These cars are starting to transition again as we see Karlovaj look underneath the 84. And these drivers are going to have to start thinking about how they preserve this car long run. I do believe from a fuel standpoint, we have to stop at least one more time before the end of the race here tonight. When do you elect to come down? Keep in mind the tire fall off here is not insignificant. Fastest laps range from a 29.5 to a 29.6, and these drivers are running about 35s and 30.6s. So a lot of about a second of a tire fall off over about a 35 lap green flag run, as we continue to see Calatoni and Karlovaj battle side by side as they work off into two. Harris is going to get right in the middle of this. Oh, we saw Justin Fuller make contact with the wall ever so slightly off of turn two. But now Harris is going to challenge the high side. Calatoni's going to give up that spot. Now Karlovaj, he's got a chance to sneak away here, but not by much. Harris is all over the bumper as they come down the front stretch. Calatoni going to look. Go and look at here is that is Calatoni and Harris side by side. And Justin Fuller, Stephen Miles also battling it out, but not a whole lot of room for Miles in the 51 Fuller to do a whole lot here. Oh, Miles is going to get tight. That car is going to scrub up the racetrack, make contact. He's going to lose a spot there to Justin Fuller. What a unfortunate spot moving backwards for Stephen Miles. Not what he wanted to see there. Let's check in on our leader, Jose Gonzalez. He is out front just about a second. Talk about somebody that's just really just managing his tires. I've been watching his lap times over the last 10, 15 laps. He has just been real consistently, just a little slower each and every lap. And Gonzalez, I think, is knowing that there's some of the faster guys back here in Harris and Fuller and even Stephen Miles coming up through the field, and knows that he may have to contend with them before it's all said and done. No point in pushing the car too hard if he doesn't have anybody on the bumper. Karlovaj able to get by Calatoni. So was Harris. Harris now sitting in that P3 spot, and he's actually going to start looking underneath the 60 car just a little bit. Nope, not even a little bit. He's going to be there inside into the door. Now even as they come across the stripe here and off into one, Harris and that 95 going to drive off into the corner. That right there shows you that the 95 has been saving a little bit of tire, and now he is going to move in to that P2 position and start to look to run down our leader, Jose Gonzalez. Looking at our timing here and a couple notables we want to pay close attention to. Let's go all the way down here to 17th position. I'm sorry, 18th position. That is David Schildhouse. We were talking about him. He needed a really strong run here tonight, but Schildhouse, there must be significant damage on that 20 Chevrolet, as that driver has followed through the field quite a bit now. He is fighting to hang on to 18th position here, and he's got a lot of folks around him. That's Mike Montesi and crew all trying to hang on to that spot, but not the night the 20 was hoping to have here before it's all said and done. And it looks like Schildhouse, he is just trying to hang on. That's Mike Montesi, Kevin DeBrown, Troy Haight, Glenn Campbell's back here. Brian Macklin's all in this group as well. So just a lot of drivers, probably a little bit of frustration as well building. As we go back out front, I think we're going to have a battle for the lead here before it's all said and done, because Jose Gonzalez is now starting to see the 95 grow in the mirror significantly. That gap was over a second about 5 laps ago, now down to 0.3. So Gonzalez is certainly starting to feel the pressure as Cody Harris is starting to gain ever so slightly lap after lap here. And let's take a moment. Let's ride on board. Lap 82, let's ride on board with Cody Harris as he works to run down our leader here at Charlotte. As pit stops start to occur here, we're looking out front. Gonzalez and Karlovaj maintain those top spots, but it's not going to be for long because we've got drivers coming down pit road here. As stops starting to come to fruition, as we're trying to get a view of our leader here. Producer Gonzalez, please. There we go. And Cody Harris has fallen off just a little bit. Karlovaj going to come down pit road here. Yeah, he's going to come to the attention of his crew. Single down, real slow back into the box. He's going to take 4 fuels. We go back to our leader now, Stephen Miles, working up to P2. I think we're going to see some more pit stops happening here as Karlovaj has come down pit road. As green flag stops are starting. Here comes the leaders. That's going to be Gonzalez. That's Miles, Calatoni, and others all electing to come down pit road here for the what could be final stops of the night. Jorgensen's going to join him, and then Tyler Dalton. Again, a driver we've talked about a couple times here tonight. He is going to be considered your leader. He's going to stay out a lap as everybody hits pit road. Going back out on track here, Tyler Dalton continues to lead. Nelson Rivera, Justin Fuller are sitting in P3. Chad Coleman. Hey, producer, can we get the top position, please? There we go. As Gonzalez is going to work off pit road, that is some weird stuff maybe going on with timing here. As Gonzalez, that's going to be a fight for the lead there. As he's going to come off pit road. I saw Cody Harris go by. Not sure exactly what's going on here. Gonzalez is no longer in the lead. It's Chad Coleman. Trying to get eyes on him on track. There we go. Justin Fuller. And Kevin DeBrown. Troy Haight. EJ O'Rourke, your top 5. These drivers have not come back down here. Coleman leading some of his first laps. Justin Fuller has also not been down just yet. Now, you cannot stay out too long here, because if you do, you are going to likely feel some pressure. You're going to have some issues, because keep in mind, those new tires are faster by about a second to 1.2 seconds faster than what you're running for if you were somebody like Coleman or Fuller out front here. Justin, speaking of the 20 car, I believe Lacey was doing some review, and it looks like he may have some damage on the nose of that 20. We'll see if we get a better look at it. Oh, absolutely, a ton of damage on the front of that 20 of David Schildhouse. That is likely what caused all the heartburn for him as he fell through the field. Meanwhile, just behind him, it's Jason Karlovaj and co. That's also Jose Gonzalez. Back there, those all drivers have new tires. Here comes Stephen Miles as well. They've all been down pit road, so this will be some fairly easy passes for them to make here as they squeeze by David Schildhouse, who has not been on pit road just yet here tonight, again for the second time. Back out front we'll go. That's Chad Coleman continuing to lead Justin Fuller, Troy Haight, Kevin DeBrown, EJ O'Rourke, your top 5. They're begging for a caution at this point. Drivers calling out all sorts of debris everywhere, all over the place, as they want to build it. They obviously want to stay out here as long as possible, but they also would love to get their pit stops for free, and they would do that if they were to see a caution come out here. But so far, this has been a relatively clean evening for the Monday night Cooks Landscape Group Cup Series right here on Turn 1. Again, happy to have everybody live with us here tonight. A little bit of a different call. Did not have Kevin England alongside tonight, but he will return next Monday night for some more fun racing action. My partner in crime on Monday nights here on Turn 1. I'm going to take a quick look through the field here. A couple drivers, Joe Hudson, Schildhouse, Patrick Colby, Bobby Wetzel, Ron Holyfield. They have not come down pit road, but they have a mix of drivers that have just behind them. That's Tyler Dalton up in front of them. He's been down pit road. I do believe pretty much everybody in that group in front of him have. But yeah, it is we're kind of off sequence at the moment. Meanwhile, taking a look here at scoring just to get a fresh idea. So, who would cycle out as your leader? I believe that's going to be Cody Harris. It is. Cody Harris right now is sitting in 14th position. He has been down pit road. Last time here, let me take a look. Oh, Cody, when did you come down pit road, my good friend? Yeah, Cody has come down pit road, so that'll be something to pay close attention to out of Harris, as he will eventually inherit the lead once this all cycles out. And then right behind him, Jason Karlovaj is hanging on to that 15th place spot, come down a lap later. Newer tires for Karlovaj by a lap. And then Jose Gonzalez, he is actually going to lose the lead for the first time tonight through the green flag pit stops. And once this is all said and done, so we'll have to pay close attention to this battle and see how this all comes to fruition. Let's go back up front. That is Chad Coleman. He's feeling a little bit of pressure. But that's not for position. Cody Harris is going to squeeze by him, and that is going to be Cody Harris back on the lead lap. So now he has to race himself all the way back around. But again, keep in mind, Coleman, Fuller, Haight has not come down pit road just yet. As Haight now starting to feel a little. That's Fuller starting to feel a little bit more pressure back behind Coleman. For that's again not necessarily for position. As we go back and look at the 51 of Justin Fuller, all those cars on the outside just riding around past him here. And this is where you've got to you have locked into the strategy. If you're Justin Fuller, you've got to be committed, and it is really hard to mentally be committed when you have all these drivers just driving past you so quickly and pulling away. That's when, as a driver, you take a little bit of a gut check and go, am I making the right call? Well, Justin Fuller is committed to it right now, and he is sitting in that oh goodness, he is sitting in that top spot now. As we're going to see Coleman come down pit road. He's going to come to the attention of his crew one more time here tonight with 30 laps to go. That's going to give Fuller an opportunity to lead a lap. But again, he is not pit yet. Neither has Haight, DeBrown, Hudson, O'Rourke, Schildhouse, Colby, Wetzel, Jason Pick, or Brian Macklin have not come down as it cycles through. Harris is now worked up to 12th. 27 seconds on back behind Fuller. Fuller's going to stay out at least another lap here. 29 laps to go for the Cooks Landscape Group Cup Series. Cody Harris just on cruise, nobody around him. Now this is the perfect scenario. We saw him being surrounded. He had a ton of traffic around him, both lap cars and cars he was racing. Was able to navigate around all that, stayed out of trouble on those newer tires, but now he's got to set his sights out front. And this again is where the drivers like Justin Fuller want to see a caution come out. They want to see that caution wave as soon as they possibly can, so that they can get those pit stops for free. But that would likely bring everybody in. That would be everybody off sequence here. And Fuller still has that set of tires in the pits, but he's going to continue to stay out here. All he needs to do is hold off Cody Harris. 26 seconds out back, 28 laps. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that, Justin. Even if you could hold him off, I don't know if he's going to have the fuel for it, but we're going to pay close attention to that battle. Speaking of that battle, EJ O'Rourke just free and clear right here, but that's Glenn Campbell working around him again, not for position. O'Rourke having a solid night here, had flashes of speed. We saw him be up front early in the race, fell back quite a bit. Then now, oh wow, we go back even further than that. There's a three-way battle off of turn 2. I want to, that may have been, I'm not sure who that was. Let's see if we get another camera angle here. Yeah, that's Cody. Oh, that's Patrick Colby back there. He's got a little bit of a battle. Who was that? That's Jason, or is that Bobby Wetzel? That's Bobby Wetzel, Patrick Colby. Side by side as they work off into the corner. This was a three-way battle coming off last time by. They got it sorted out. I continue to drive on. Schildhouse continues to feel some pressure. I feel really, this is not the night that's what he wants to be having here, as he's now getting some pressure. That's O'Rourke looking on the outside, and Schildhouse, that whole entire front of that car is tore up. I cannot help but I don't understand how we may have missed what have happened to the 20 car, because whatever it was, it had to be significant contact for the 20 of David Schildhouse. While we've got an opportunity, and oh, that's O'Rourke just right to the bumper of Schildhouse, almost shoving him off into the corner. Let's go back, and it looks like Troy Haight has gotten around Justin Fuller up front. That is interesting. Where did Justin go? He's back there. Justin Fuller now falling off just a little bit. 0.6 of a second on back. This is interesting. What has Justin Fuller got up his sleeve? Looking a little slower here in the last couple laps. Let's look at the lap times here for Fuller. Last time by a 31.5. Oh, he's going to come down pit road. The 51 hits pit road, locks him up. Oh, he may have been speeding as he comes down pit road. And that is going to surrender the lead to Troy Haight, Kevin DeBrown. But that will not be for long, because again, these drivers, along with O'Rourke, Wetzel, Colby, Pick, and Schildhouse, have not come down pit road. We see Brian Macklin also on pit road. Cody Harris is going to cycle out once it's all said and done. The leaders, we see now another driver coming down pit road. Who is that? That is Troy Haight. He hits pit road. And we're now going to cycle it off to DeBrown. He is going to lead a lap here as he's going to look to the outside of Chad Coleman. Coleman's going to squeeze by. That's Bentley Glazer as well, going to squeeze by underneath him. And looking pretty sharp there. DeBrown, now he's in a position, if he wanted to come down pit road, he almost did not have the position or the time to. He's going to have to, Glenn Campbell's going to be underneath him, but he's going to stay out another lap and lead one here. Meanwhile, let's go right back with the 95. He is back up to 5th, 19 seconds back behind his crew, and all free and clear. He's got about a second of a gap out behind of Jason Karlovaj, so no pressure out of Cody Harris, at least right for Cody Harris right now, as they continue to close in on the checkered flag here as they come across the stripe. 21 to go here tonight at Charlotte. Let's take a look back. That's Gonzalez and Karlovaj side by side. Gonzalez is able to squeeze by him. At least it looked like he was going to in the middle of the corner. Karlovaj is going to hang on the outside. And Karlovaj going to try to continue to hang on the outside line. This is what the 95 wants to continue to see in his mirror, as these two battling pretty strongly. Gonzalez is going to firmly shut the door coming down the front stretch, though. Jose Gonzalez has moved himself back into that P2 spot as Cody Harris has officially inherited the lead here with 20 laps to go. So after that pit flag, or that green flag pit stops, it has cycled out 0.8 of a second, only 0.8 of a second separate Harris from Gonzalez. But Gonzalez has got Karlovaj, Stephen Miles right here. Anthony Calatoni, after it's all said and done, is back up to that 5th place spot. Mark Jorgensen, I would consider one of the bigger winners here of this pit stop sequence. He is currently sitting 6th. Tyler Dalton is sitting 7th, as they're going to see some cars merge into traffic here. They're going to have to contend with just a little bit. Though they're going to be getting up to speed, but they're going to have newer tires than these guys. So they, as you can see, actually already starting to grip through the middle of the corner. That was Patrick Colby. And who else is that? I believe that's Donaldson or E.J. O'Rourke. No, that was E.J. O'Rourke up there. Able to hang tough with those guys as we go back to Miles and Karlovaj. They are battling side by side. If we could go back to Miles and Karlovaj. There we go. As Miles looking underneath Karlovaj. A little bit of smoke off in the distance here. Not sure where that's from. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. No caution out, so everybody's minding their P's and Q's. And Stephen Miles now. He's going to be the victor of this battle here for Gonzalez and Karlovaj, because he's going to drive by. Now here comes, I believe that's Bobby Wetzel in the 9. That is not for position. That Bobby Wetzel has those newer tires, and he's got a long way to go here to work his way back around to the lead lap. Meanwhile, Gonzalez has started to close the gap up a little bit on Cody Harris, down to 0.4 of a second. 16 laps to go here at Charlotte. A lot of shade starting to come over the track, and well, that's going to mean one thing. There's going to be a lot of grip as this track continues to cool down, and not only that, with a lot of grip also comes those cars potentially tightening up just a little bit. So that'll be something to really think about as now Bobby Wetzel's going to start to work on Cody Harris. Back looking up here in front of Cody Harris. Now, this is something he does not want to see the 9. He doesn't want to fight with the 9 too much. Gonzalez is right there. He's closing. 0.3 of a second. He wants to see Wetzel just go by very quickly here. But no, Wetzel's going to be right alongside the 95. That's going to cause the 95 to have to enter the corner higher. And Wetzel's going to make that move. And Gonzalez is going to close that gap now down to 0.2 of a second as they work down the front stretch to take 14 to go. Let's ride off the back bumper here. Maybe on that transmission cam of the 95 of Cody Harris as he looks back at Jose Gonzalez as Gonzalez continues to close down that gap. Here working 14 to go. Gonzalez is not only caught up to Cody Harris now, but is starting to look around a little bit on the racetrack to where he can make his move as the laps continue to wind down. 12 laps to go, coming to 11 here for the Cook Landscape Group Cup Series right here on Turf 1, the Sim 500 Cup Series. Monday night, the premier group here and some premier talent battling it out up front as 11 laps to go here at Charlotte. Cody Harris played it perfectly, came down pit road early, came off sequence of everybody else, drove through the field, was able to take the lead away, but now Gonzalez, who was our pole sitter, led a lot of laps here tonight, is now starting to look around the racetrack. How can he get around the 95? There you see it. We're going to see 10 laps to go. And by the way, we've not heard the end of Stephen Miles. He is cruising right there in that third place spot, in and out of the camera frame just a little bit. Oh, as Gonzalez now drives deep underneath Harris off of turn 2. Side by side. No more can Harris say that he can hold him off. Jose Gonzalez going to challenge for the lead here. 9 laps to go, and he's going to lead that lap. Again, our pole sitter. Strong run early. Now, fighting side by side with the 95. No more saving of tires, no more saving of equipment. You've got to go. Gonzalez is going to keep holding on to that bottom line. Harris is going to be on the high side. We've seen this many times with these new Cup cars, how they could get alongside somebody, but you can't make it past. Gonzalez is going to lead that lap once again. 8 laps remaining. They're going to get tight on one another, and everybody demanding a level of space. By the way, here comes Stephen Miles, but what a run Gonzalez had off the corner. Cody Harris goes down to try to slow him up on the side draft. They both get a little tight going through 3 and 4. Stephen Miles has got to be careful here along with Carl Lavage. Gonzalez hanging tough on the bottom. What a perfectly executed move out of the 95 to keep the Gonzalez machine slowed up. Now, Harris is going to push him down the corner. Miles is waiting for these guys to slip up. Off of turn 2. Harris is going to continue to lead there, or continue to lead down the backstretch. We've seen Gonzalez really edge out a little bit of speed, a little bit more speed, but he gets tight in the corner. Harris is going to lead this one. 6 laps to go. What a battle up here, side by side. Now Karlovaj and Miles looking like they're battling for that spot. But we're not going to pull away from our leaders. That is going to be the fight here. What tire do you have left? What can Jose Gonzalez do to do something different here? Now Miles is starting to Harris is starting to build that speed up on that outside line. 5 laps to go. Gonzalez drives it in a little deeper off into the corner. Harris not giving him any room as they work off the corner. Harris is going to be out front on the backstretch. Half a car length as a lead coming off the corner here. 4 to go. We've seen Gonzalez really be quick in that 3 and 4, and he's also trying to run up the racetrack a little bit here. You see him and Harris battling it out real tight off of 1 and 2, but we've seen Gonzalez squeak out just enough of a run right here off the bottom. Let's watch really close to the 26. They're going to really get tight on one another. Perfect racing out front, side by side. 3 laps to go here at Charlotte. It doesn't get much better than this. The Sim 500 Cup Series, live here at Charlotte. A wild run. Side-by-side battle for the lead the last 10 laps. And it's not over yet. Gonzalez is going to drive down deep off into 3. Even. And this is where he builds that speed, builds that momentum a little bit. He's going to get tight. Going to get into Harris just a little bit. Harris is going to lead that lap. 2 to go. Meanwhile, Miles back there is just waiting in the wings, waiting for something to happen here. As these two continue to battle side by side, something has to give. As they head off into 3. Side by side they go. Harris is going to have a little bit of more momentum. He's going to lead. White flag out. One more time around here in Charlotte. Anybody's race, side by side off the corner. Gonzalez had a great middle of the corner, but it's going to be so tight. Right down into 3 and 4. Who can get the better drive off the corner? It's going to be Harris, at least initially. They're going to make contact, but Cody Harris, no! Cody Harris is going to win. By the nose of that 95, Cody Harris pulls off a win. Jose Gonzalez, Mark Jorgensen able to squeeze by Stephen Miles for the top 3. And then Jason Karlovaj is going to finish 5th. And with that, we're going to wrap up race coverage here tonight on the Monday Night Cup Series. Unfortunately, not able to do some post-race, but that'll be okay. We will catch up with these drivers next week for post-race interviews. And again, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I want to thank everybody for Sim 500. And the league admins for being here tonight, and thank you for bringing Turn 1 on board. A little bit of a different approach. And Kevin, if you're out there, buddy, we certainly missed you. We'll see you next week. As Cody Harris is going to burn it down on the front stretch here on Charlotte, or on the front stretch of Charlotte. I also want to give special thanks to Lisa Fitz producing tonight's race. First time in the chair, doing a great job. Cody Harris is going to loop it around. On behalf of the league admins, I'm Sean Fitz. We'll catch you next time for more racing action. Bye-bye, everybody.